So I've stopped overnight here at Valence. It's the major city between Lyon and Avignon on the Via Rhona, which follows the Garonne, as I've already explained. Just stopped for a bit of breakfast. I've got a black coffee, café allongé, as we say here in France, and a baguette with ham and cheese. I really had to stop here as there's a mighty big bakery here which specialises in sandwiches and tarts, and I'm quite fond of a bit of tart. I've just stopped at the rather bustling little town of Montélimar. We've got what looks to be about a mid-19th century. It looks sort of mid-industrial revolution suspension bridge that crosses the Rhone. I'm just going to slightly move out of this children's playground. But over here there's a fresh market. You can also buy clothes if you're interested in fashion, and I'm not sure if you can just make out the ruins of a castle up behind me. Where can you see that? See that up there? It's probably 11th, 12th century. I haven't looked it up. But again, the habit that we saw in Spain of putting castles and old villages and things up the top of a hill, if possible, I still don't agree with. Fortunately, if I stick to the edge of the Rhone on my way down to the Mediterranean, hopefully there won't be too much climbing. I've just stopped for a wee bit to reflect on biodiversity. There's more bugs and midges, whole great clouds of them that seem to be flying towards me as I'm making my way here. There's a very busy part just back there of a lot of picnickers. Lots of people, they don't cycle, they turn up in vans and cars and just having a look around. But there's no shortage of nature here. These bugs, they just accumulate in these vast swarms. They don't bite or anything, but they just stick to you, and they just seem to want to come along for the ride. They've obviously got no sense of direction because they're intentionally coming the opposite way, and they see you coming and see a free ride. But as the conservationists haven't got it all right here, because just behind me there's a great whopping nuclear power plant. It's quite a spectacular thing, really. If only Germany had held on to its nuclear power, Putin wouldn't have them by the ghoulies right now. Well, today has been a tough day. I started in Valence about 90 kilometres ago, and at the last minute I decided I wanted to stop in a town about 10 kilometres further on to get some drink, because I had nothing left. I was out of water, I was out of juice. I didn't have any food apart from something I would have to cook, and I wasn't keen on cooking. And I wanted some wine. So I tried to race to the supermarket to get there on time. I'm sorry, not looking at the camera, it's a bit different when I'm holding it with the light blaring at my eyes. And then I set about finding a campsite, and it turned out that was a good 15 kilometres past the supermarket. So very long day. Keen for it to come to a close. I've only got salami and bread to eat from the supermarket. I forgot to get some lollies, but I've got wine, and I've got a rather dodgy campsite on the side of the road that may be rural property and is possibly illegal. But I'm only 2.5 hours ride to Avignon tomorrow, so if you're watching, Ashley, this is all your fault. You told me that cycling and camping were fun, and they're not. Well, it's Saturday morning. I'm taking brief respite from the rain. It's not a bad part of France, actually. I'm in the Vaucluse region. I have a shorter journey today, covered about 20 kilometres, had a long stop in a cafe for a baguette and a coffee, and I'm heading to a campsite for tonight, an official campsite. They will probably even have electricity and Wi-Fi. You'll also notice I've flipped into my yellow jersey. This is the official yellow jersey of the Tour de France. Many other cyclists on this journey have been trying to win it off me. Sadly for them, they haven't succeeded. I covered 200 kilometres in the first 2 days. There were about 102 on the first day, 95 on the second. I'm making reasonably good progress so far, but I should report that the camping situation is pretty dire. I've put a few holes in the bottom of my tent from sticks that are poking out, placed there strategically by people who don't want anyone to camp there, I'm sure. And I don't like the rain. So hopefully if I just sit it out here for a few minutes, it will subside, and then I'll be able to make my way up the hill. A bit of climbing to go, 260 metres to climb, mostly in the next hour or so, so it's pretty steep. And then it's a good downhill trek to where I'm planning to stay for the night, so cross fingers I will get there. I'm also wearing my gloves for those who are interested in cycle wear and fashion, that sort of thing. So I'm ready to hold on to my yellow jersey by the end of today.